Hey guys, welcome back to the classroom. I'm Dr. Roshan Ramnarayan, and it's you, me, and my trusty whiteboard here, where we're going to go through all things related to the body, mind, heart, and spirit in a relatively easy to understand format. Today is a really interesting class. It's dedicated to those who often wonder, where do these habits and behaviors of ours pop up? You know, sometimes we may get angry at times, sometimes we may get jealous or resentful at times, and sometimes we wonder, where is this coming from? And today, I'm going to attempt to break that down. Because, and it might not even be with us. It could be with a loved one. Why is my spouse always so angry? Why is my sibling jealous? You know, and I'm going to attempt to answer that question today. So, today, we're going to talk about a concept introduced by a very famous psychologist, a guy by the name of Carl Jung. Even though it's a J, it's pronounced Young. And I'm going to talk today about the shadow self. It's a really, really, really interesting concept. I'm going to give my take on it because there is a big part of psychology dedicated to this. But I'm just going to give my take on it and my spin on all of this. Because I believe our shadow self, if we're aware of it and if we're familiar with it, and almost if we're friends with it, it can be a powerful, powerful ally in the path towards self-discovery. So, we're going to talk today basically about the mind. Now, in psychology, the mind is broken up into many, many, many different facets. There are many different schools of thought on how do we break up and classify and categorize the mind. But for the purposes of today's lecture, I'm going to talk about the two parts of the mind that I think about. And that's relevant. The first part is the conscious mind, and the other one is the subconscious mind. And so these two are what really, in my mind, in a real practical way, what drives our daily habits, behaviors, thoughts, our reactions to the world, how we treat with the world. These two things. Now, in simple terms, the conscious mind is one where we're in control. It's our thoughts. Like right now, I can close my eyes and I can think about being on a beach somewhere. That's my conscious mind at work. I'm relatively in control. When I'm in my class, when I'm with a patient, when I'm talking with someone, that's my conscious mind is engaged. The subconscious mind, however, runs much, much deeper. The subconscious mind is, in my opinion, the power plant that fuels the conscious mind. The subconscious mind is the depths of who we are. Think of it like the conscious mind is like the waves on the ocean that we can see, but the entirety of the ocean is our subconscious. When I was reflecting on today's talk, one of the best analogies I could come up with is this. We have two different types of muscles. We have voluntary muscles and we have involuntary muscles. So for instance, my biceps are voluntary. I can move my hands up, down, pat my head, rub my belly, all that good stuff. That's voluntary. But the muscles in my heart, I have no physical control over it. The muscles in my stomach, the muscles in a woman's womb, for instance, those are not things that we can voluntarily control. However, we can interact with them. We can, through our habits and behaviors, support them or lack thereof. So for instance, we can voluntarily go for a run or go on exercise. And as a result of that voluntary action, we are now working the heart indirectly. We're getting the heart stronger, more capable, all of that good stuff. So essentially, and follow me guys, our voluntary action helps to influence our involuntary muscles. It is the exact same thing with our conscious and our subconscious. So, for instance, if through our conscious effort, we are constantly looking for the good in the world, this is a good thing, that's a good thing, let me look at the silver lining, for instance, then our subconscious will be primed to pick up all the good in the world. But for instance, if it's the opposite now, let's say for instance we come from a broken home, we saw a lot of negative things being done to us or loved ones coming up, growing up, then our subconscious will be primed for that. And make no mistake, there is a great interaction between them. One informs the other. Very similar to the voluntary and involuntary muscles we have, because if we never exercised before, make no mistake, our involuntary heart muscles will limit our ability to exercise. So, one informs the other for sure. And I'm here to tell you today, guys, that through conscious effort, we can inform our subconscious and we can start changing it, we can start priming it. Because what we choose to focus on in our daily life is what will be loaded into our subconscious. And as a result of that, it will inform our world view. So, the shadow self is here. This is the shadow. This is where the shadow lives. Now, exactly what is our shadow? Our shadow is the sum total of all of our attributes that we would rather not acknowledge. So, because I'll tell you something, every single red-blooded human being, myself included, would like to think that we're good people. We're good people, I'm a good person, I'm happy, I try to do the best I can do, and we all walk around thinking that we are relatively virtuous. And welcome to being human. There's nothing wrong about that. However, in the same way, in the same breath, by virtue of being human, we will also have unpleasant qualities. So, for instance, we may have anger. We may have jealousy. We may have resentment. We may have fear. And so, and the list goes on, And so, make no mistake that these things will inform some of the conscious decisions that we make. So, for instance, I'm sure we all know somebody who is hot-blooded, or somebody who has a bad temper. And make no mistake, it's because there's anger bubbling underneath. The amount of patients that come to me and say, Doc, I don't understand why, but the slightest things trigger me off. And it's because there's anger underneath the surface. The waves look nice, but underneath the surface, there's all these things bubbling. And so, the thing is that because, and the point of today's lecture is that because through our conscious effort, we can begin to sort of inform these things, there is a way that we can help. There is a way that on your own personal journey, you can begin to sort of smoothen these raw, hot, jagged emotions. But it begins with a desire to do so. So the thing is, here and here, the subconscious is where the work is required. But how do we bridge this? And so it's conscious action that we need to do. So there is a phrase or a saying or a word that helps us to work on these things. And it's called shadow work. I've thought long and hard about whether I should talk about shadow work in today's lecture. But I think in order to give it justice, in the next lecture, I will save an entire lecture solely to shadow work. The point of today's lecture is really to prime you guys to think about the shadow self. to think about where are my actions and behaviors coming from. If someone gives me a bad drive, where do I react? How do I react? And for instance, you might wonder, where did that come from? Where did all this anger come from? Where did all this fear come from? And make no mistake, it's as a result of our priming throughout our lives. And so, for instance, one sibling might have been treated better than the other, and the other one would have invariably gotten jealous. Welcome to being human. For instance, our spouse may have not treated us as well as we thought they would have when we first got married. Welcome to being human. For instance, we may have suffered a loss early on in our life, or even later on, that suddenly puts a lot of fear into us. Welcome to being human. And at the end of the day, what helps us to be able to overcome all of these things that are inside of the core of our being? Shadow work. Now, I can give an entire lecture on the subconscious and what it's about, but today I chose to focus on exactly the connection between our shadow self, the part of ourselves that we don't really acknowledge, and the subconscious. If you guys want me to talk about the subconscious, leave a comment, and I know there's some interest, and I'll do an entire lecture on the subconscious, and exactly how working with the subconscious, we can help become better human beings, essentially. How we can help be more mindful, more present. Because what I'm suggesting is that we can deconstruct things that are already there. But, make no mistake, we can also add our own constructs to our subconscious. We are not without power here, guys. It's just a know-how. So if there's a desire for that lecture, please let me know and I'll make sure and put it out. But my hope is that with today's lecture, you'll have at least a framework to understand where some of these things are coming from. And in the next lecture, I will talk about shadow work and exactly what it means and how we can go about doing it. So, hope you guys understood today's lecture. And if there's any questions or concerns, shoot me a message in the comments. Until next time, I'll see you in the classroom.